Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about marketing, particularly marketing if you're a very small YouTube channel, musician, creator. You know, you've got a couple followers, maybe 100 subscribers or whatever, you're getting maybe 200 views on a video, whatever, that kind of thing. You're not big, you haven't got a proper audience that's retained from video to video, that kind of thing, and you're trying to establish a community and some kind of following for the sake of the things that you want to make, whether that be YouTube videos, whether that be films, whether that be music, whether that be books or anything. Maybe you want to do self-help, maybe you want to be some kind of motivational guide, maybe you're trying to start some kind of yoga thing, like live streams where you do yoga, stuff like that. There's all sorts of ways that you can turn what you do in real life into something that you do on the internet. And that's kind of what people do now in the sort of the 2010s and the 2020s. We're trying to get onto the internet and trying to monetize our lives on the internet. And something I notice with a lot of small creators, and I myself have been guilty of this, you go onto, say, like at their Reddit page or whatever, and they're just spamming their new video onto every single subreddit that they can possibly find. And these are subreddits that no one's using. These subreddits are just bins for people to post their stuff in. No one's actually going on them to try and find new material. No one's actually engaging with this stuff as a viewer. It's all content creators spamming into the void for the sake of other content creators to kind of go, oh, look at that thumbnail, whatever, and then scroll down, because they are more interested in promoting themselves than seeing you. You need to find spaces where people are actively looking for content to watch that can engage them, that relates to them, that engages them and their personality and what they want out of something. So I feel like you should try and work smarter and not harder with regard to this sort of thing. You don't need to post in every single subreddit. You don't need to post on every single Facebook page. You don't need to post on, I don't know, whatever Twitter has. You don't need to do this quite so much. What you should instead focus on is refining your own style, your image, your general brand, because we all have a bit of a personal brand that we do have. I have made a video about how I don't like the fact that we all have personal brands, but we do, and it's something that we kind of have to live with. And as long as you can try and make something interesting out of that is the real you, that feels true to yourself and true to your own image, then people will generally come along if you're providing something of worth to them. And it's just about trying different things until you make that. Have you ever found, if you're making, say you're making videos or whatever, just as an example, say you make videos and you're making, I don't know, Let's Plays, right? You make loads of Let's Plays, you made hundreds of Let's Plays, you're getting 20 to 30 views on each one. You maybe get a couple comments every 3 or 4 videos. You're doing okay, you know, but it's clear, it's still just a hobby, it's still just something, and you know, it's going to remain a hobby even if you still get like a few thousand views or tens of thousands of views. Don't get me wrong, it's not like you're going to just change your life overnight. But what is interesting is if you put out a new kind of video, you try something new, that generally has a chance at doing really well. I've got a friend who he was making videos for about 3 years, and it was just the sort of videos that he really wanted to make. He made whatever he wanted, right? And when XXXTentacion died, he got really, really inspired to make a documentary about his life. And he made the documentary, it was a 40-minute documentary, he made it in about 3 weeks. He made it really quick, and he spent all day and night because he was so dedicated to this idea. And when it came out, and this was something totally different, this was quite a serious thing, and generally before he was doing very light-hearted comedic things, this was quite a serious project. Very down to earth and very somber and very dry. And when that came out, that did extremely, extremely, extremely well. First, it got posted on a couple subreddits like the XXXTentacion subreddit, maybe the Hip Hop Heads subreddit, a couple others. And it started off there, and then the algorithm picked it up from there, and it ended up getting about 1 million views, something like that. And then from there, he made another documentary off the back of that about Little Peep. And that documentary did extremely well as well. And he managed to get quite a large following out of trying something new. So I think if you're not finding success at what you're doing at the moment, just try something new. It's not about having to, because it's not the idea that, you know, you're doing exactly something right now, you just need to pump it out further and further to more people. you might be doing something wrong, but you don't actually know it yet until you find what you're doing that is correct. I've done so many YouTube channels at this point. I've tried Let's Plays, I've tried ramblings, I've tried putting on different characters, I've done on the street interviews, I've done films, I've done albums, I've done all sorts of stuff, right? And loads of things haven't worked. And when I found that something hasn't worked, I've kind of moved on to the next thing. So I'll stick with something for a few months, see if it's working, try and develop it, try and figure out the style. And then once I've kind of gotten to that point, I see if it's actually working or not. And if it isn't, I kind of move on, right? With this was just another experiment in my line of experiments. And for some reason, this experiment has worked. People seem to relate to whatever it is I'm saying. They get something out of whatever it is that I'm putting forward to use. And I think if you can just keep jumping from thing to thing, once you see that something's not working, you jump to something else. And if that's not working, you jump to something else, and you keep trying, you know, develop and experiment and try new things, you will eventually find something that really works for you. Just the same way that my friend, he was doing stuff, and it wasn't even that like he wanted to stop doing that. He just tried a different experiment, and it really worked. And I find that whenever I try something a little bit weird, it tends to be the thing that does really well. So don't be afraid of trying the weird stuff, because it's the weird stuff that will end up getting really big, inevitably. It's always the thing that you don't expect that will be the thing that does really well. The thing that you put your heart and soul and all your time and effort into, you might put thousands of hours into this one singular project, and then it comes out to crickets, right? But then you might spend a few hours on just something off the cuff and just really quite simple and just, you know, just true from the heart. You put that out, and then that does really well. And if you find something that's working, just keep doing it until it stops working, is kind of my philosophy regarding it. And I think in terms of trying to get your stuff out there for any small creators or anything that are watching this, I think if what you're doing at the moment isn't working for you, and it's not been working for you for a while, I mean, don't they say the whole definition of insanity is like a very cliche quote, but the definition of insanity is you're trying something again and again and again, the same thing again and again, and expecting different results. And it is a cliche saying, but I suppose there is kind of a truth to it in the fact that what are you expecting to happen? If you keep doing the same thing, like say you're doing Let's Plays, are you expecting that by the time you've done your 1000th Let's Play video, that then you'll have gotten your audience? That then you will have gotten the views and the things that you're actually hoping for? Probably not. It's probably not going to happen, right? Because I feel like what's interesting about the nature of the internet and the algorithms and the way that things spread now in terms of artistic works and general creative sort of projects and so on, I think what works is the spontaneity of it and the fact that it feels genuine, rather than, because as you do something more and more and more, you kind of commodify it over time, and you slowly industrialize the process, and you figure out exactly how you're going to do it, and everything becomes perfect. In fact, I've been a little bit worried that with these videos, now that I've got like I'm not saying I've got a following, like a proper one, but I've got like, I notice the same few people in various videos on the comments. I see the same people coming back and back, and I really love that. I do really love that. But I semi-worry that it's not quite the same as when I had absolutely no following. Maybe I was more genuine then than I am now, right? And maybe I'll get less genuine as time goes on. But I think possibly that's a worry that I don't need to have, because think about it like this, right? If you're going out there and just take what I'm doing, right? I just go around wherever I happen to be at that moment and just sit down. I'm sat at a bench right now, and this camera is just sat on another bench over there, just filming me doing this. And I've got the phone right here. It's not exactly a proper setup, you know. There's no one else out here with me. There's not like a cameraman or anything. It's not like I've got all the resources in the world. So I'm still very, very low to the ground. And I want to try and stay like that for as long as possible. I'd like to be doing this exact same style of video if I had 1 million subscribers, right? Or whatever, you know? I wouldn't want to dude perfect myself and get like a big crew that follow me around and go, hey guys, oh yeah, today we're going to be going down here. Massive text on the walls, massive text popping up in your face, sound effects, boom, boom, boom. All of that sort of stuff. No, thank you. I'd rather keep everything nice and simple, naturalistic, and just like this. Because whatever this is working. And, you know, the whole thing of like you're trying the same thing again and again and expecting different results. I like the results of this that come from this, so I am going to keep trying this again and again, and I'll make videos about various things. I've been thinking about making a video about Christmas because it's Christmas period. So after this video, I'm going to go. There's a Christmas tree way down there. So the next video, I'm going to go down to the Christmas tree and I'm going to film there. So. I feel like with regard to yourself and with regard to the things that you're making and trying to promote them and all that sort of stuff, it's not about whatever Facebook page you post it on. If you post on some Facebook page and you get like 10,000 likes or whatever, that's going to dribble back down to, say, if it's coming from YouTube and you've posted it on Facebook, it's going to dribble down by a rate of like 0.1%. And if that's 10,000 people, that's, I think, 10 people. So that's 10 followers out of that one thing. So then say you do this 100 times and you get really lucky with it 100 times, okay? That's 1,000 people, okay? I think that's rubbish, because how long is it going to take you to get 100 Facebook posts that do that well, that do those numbers? That is going to take you years, right? I've been posting stuff on all these stupid pages for years, and the most I've ever gotten is about 20 likes. I remember I did an analysis of the film 2012, right? And I posted it on the r/movies subreddit. I got, I think, 300 upvotes or something like that. That equated to about 15 hours watch time. That equated to about 2,000 views. The average audience retention was god awful. It was like 45 seconds, because the people that come from Reddit are clicking on it out of a mild curiosity. They're not that bothered about it compared to if they click it from YouTube when they're already in the YouTube sphere of influence and in the YouTube watching mode. So the views that come from YouTube directly from like suggested videos or browse features or whatever. Browse features, by the way, is basically like the homepage of YouTube. The views that come from that, the audience retention from those things is much higher than from external factors. So really, and because audience retention is one of the most important things that YouTube looks at in regards to whether your video is worth promoting further, right? So if you're posting on all these various subreddits and all these things, and you're doing really well and you're getting like 300 upvotes, 400 upvotes, whatever, and then people come on and they watch it for 45 seconds. YouTube sees that as your video not being worth their time, and they're gonna shut it down. They're gonna stop the impressions. You'll notice that the impressions will spike up like that from an external point, and then it will flatline, okay? And you might get a tiny, like 1 or 2 like views a day after that fact. So that's not a long-lasting video in terms of what you're actually trying to do. I feel like what would be more important is, instead of focusing on your external marketing, is instead focus on the internalities of your creation. What makes it worth someone else's time? Think about the videos that you like. Why do you like them? What draws you to them? When you see the thumbnail, what makes you want to click it? The combination of the title and the thumbnail and the text on the thumbnail, all these various things. Think about how it draws you in and try and replicate variations of that from the people that you are influenced by and apply it to your own creations. And that way you will do a lot better than if you waste your time spamming your content out to all these subreddits, to all these people who don't give a shit about you, generally to other people who are just doing the exact same thing, that are blasting themselves out. They don't care about you, they care about themselves, and they might leave a little thing saying, "Oh, great vid!" ! They can leave that comment without even watching the video. They don't need to watch the video. They're just trying to give the impression that they did so that you might go and watch their thing. It's impressions at the end of the day. So if you can get impressions from an internal thing, say if you're posting on YouTube, you want internal views from YouTube rather than from outside of it, okay? Now that's not to say never post like something on a subreddit or anything like that, but do it wisely. If you've got a video for a specific topic in mind, and make a video with a specific subreddit in mind or a specific forum in mind, that tends to work quite well, at least in my experience. Like, I remember I made, when Transformers 5 came out, I was really stupid. I was really into the Michael Bay Transformers for some god unknown reason, right? And I was on this Transformers forum that they were giving updates on the filming of Transformers 5 the last night. And, you know, oh, they're filming the pterodactyl scene, or they're filming some chase scene in central London with Lamborghinis and all this sort of stuff. So I posted a video essay about Transformers and the nature of marketing and how Transformers as a franchise manages to use marketing to market what are quite bad films and how they managed to do so successfully. And I posted that on that forum, and I got pretty decent watch time out of that because I'm posting it to a forum of people who already inherently care about the topic at hand. So work wisely. I posted on one forum and I got a higher success rate because I did it wisely rather than spamming it out to every single movie forum that I could possibly find, because some random person on some random movie forum isn't going to care about some random Transformers analysis that some nobody has made, okay? Because it means nothing to them. It means nothing to other people the way that it means something to you. So if I could leave you with any kind of message, it's don't worry so much about the marketing, because if you're making something that's worthwhile, people will hop on board, and find smart ways of marketing yourself and promoting yourself rather than just spamming your stuff out there, because you will get much better results. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Please leave some comments in the description below about how you've done some fun things with marketing. Maybe give away your trade secrets, right? And let us all know, and we can kind of like pass information, you know, back and forth to one another about how these sort of things work, what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, etc., etc. Be fun to start a discussion about that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Take care, everybody, and bye bye. Yeah. There are videos here, by the way, so click them. This one's better.